Night Shield. I'm joined today by Char and Kathy, and we have special guest Holona Romero here. And as usual, we're bringing you an educated and entertaining look through the eyes of the modern-day Native American here with the Urban Indians podcast. Levi, unfortunately, is not here. His daughter is feeling ill today, so he had to skip out. So get well, little Letty, and we will proceed without you here. Today we're going to talk about Standing Rock and how they recently were found victorious in court over how the Dakota Access Pipeline violated the law. We also want to talk about a new documentary that just hit Netflix called Awake, A Dream from Standing Rock. And that's why we asked Holona to be here, because she spent quite a bit of time up in the Standing Rock camp, and maybe she can help us, help everybody, understand what life was like up there, and just tell us about your experiences up there.
Right on. Thank you guys all for inviting me here. I sound kind of froggy. I just got done being sick. Camp. Okay, I took my children to Chitown Camp. We camped along the reservation line. Who was it? Madonna and Curly were basically in charge of the camp and everything. They took care of, help delegating, tasks for everybody. Kind of made it a home for everybody. I'm having a hard time doing this. And
if it's easy,
let's see here. It was a community. It's basically a community, of living off the grid. Basically, we didn't have a lot of technology and everything there because they kept, interrupting. Or how do you say that? What were they using? What did they?
Scramblers.
Yeah,
like that?
yeah, those scramblers and everything like that. So we couldn't use cell phones and we couldn't get live feeds or anything out. Living there in camp, we went there at first when it was kind of fallish, so it was cold, and then you had to start getting prepared for winter. We had first we had porta potties, and we had a kitchen, and people would be cutting wood.
So did you live in a teepee or a tent? Or
first, when we went to Ochete Shakawee side, we stayed in a yurt with my uncle Mikasi. The Mongolian people brought these yurts. They look like these big white huts.
Oh, okay.
And everything. We went and stayed over there a couple nights, and then Curly and them got us back over on the other side, and we were getting into a teepee. But we met Paul Wagner, and he's the guy that designed the tarpie and everything. The tarpies are 2 thick layers of tarp. It looks like a teepee, but it had a chimney on top and everything. And everybody kept saying it wouldn't work, and me and my son Chiron and a couple of my other nephews, we stayed there for, I think it was a total of 3 months during the winter, off and on, and everything. And that sucker was hot. Yeah, you kept your fire going. That sucker was good. Be sitting there in your trunks.
What was the chimney made out of?
It was just a chimney stock.
Oh.
Yeah, they had a big drum. We had a big old drum inside of there that they made into a stove, and they had a big old chimney stock that went all the way up, and there was on the top, it was a big old round wood hole thing, and then there was like some kind of metal stuff that they had on there to have the chimney go through and sit up there.
Nice. Kept you nice and warm though.
Oh, heck yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they went and put down some cardboard, and then we got some tarps, and then someone went and donated us some rugs and everything. And it was just, at first, it was just me and Chiron in there. Paul gave it to Chiron, but that, I unexpectedly ended up helping people find temporary shelter when people's tents and that start collapsing. A lot of people are not familiar with North Dakota or South Dakota winters, so they came with seasonal tents, and they're all like, oh, I woke up, and I was all smashed by the snow, but I was too cold to move.
That would be scary, actually.
I know, right?
I went there in September, and it was really hot during the day, and when the nighttime came, it was so cold, and I was like, I can't imagine what the people are going to go through in a month from now. And yeah, it was cold then.
We warned people. We kept telling people, you need to be self-sufficient, because a lot of them kept coming up with their expectation of the tribe's going to help us. All these different tribes are giving all these Native Americans up here money and funding and everything, so all these tribes will take care of all of us. Well, that wasn't the case. The tribes didn't help that way. The tribes came and stood in solidarity, and yes, people did stay from each one of their tribes to represent their bands. and everything, but we didn't get tribal funding like that because, you know, we have like hundreds of other people that the tribe had to support while we were away. You know, so it was basically very self-sufficient. Chitown Camp, we acquired some big army tents that had wood stoves. And, you know, sometimes I have compassion for people. You know, I just kept talking to Madonna and Curly. I was like, well, I got some of these people here that are, you know, needing help with shelter for overnight. So we started talking to people. I said, just bring your bedding. You know, I can't be sitting here and putting you in places that I don't even know if they're going to work yet. So I got 2 of the big military tents, and then I started letting people stay in there, you know, at nighttime. And my son Chiron, he would cut wood, you know, and he would take it down the strip, make sure everybody had wood and everything. But, you know, it was just a temporary fix until they could either start grouping up with other people, you know, or figure out what they were going to do, if they're going to go to Bismarck or something and buy something. Yeah.
Did a lot of people leave during the time you were there when it started getting cold?
Yeah, a lot of people left. I think it was more fear, you know, of winter and, you know, people not really knowing. Yeah.
Cold.
You know, because even in September and October, we kept telling people, do not face your door north, you know, and everybody's like, but I want to see the river. You know, like, especially on Chitown side, they kept saying, we want to see the river and see Ochete Shankawi camp. So I said, all right. I sat there, I said, when that northern wind comes through, I sat there, I said, you can't cry around, you know, and it's cold. But yeah, a lot of people, they got scared and they left. But the ones that really buckled down, you know, I really commend them. You know, they stood.
So, like, how many people do you think stayed there through the winter, like the harsh part of the winter?
I really couldn't say. I mean,
like,
because it was like really blanketed, you know, after a while.
Oh yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. There had to be, I think, I want to say around maybe like 5,000, maybe that still stayed.
Still stayed?
Because when we were there was 14,000 people that got that was there that they estimated.
When I went in September, I think that was, you know, after the dog attacks and stuff like that. And we just went for a weekend, but that's when everyone was really rolling in, was that weekend. And I remember we took a guy from Sioux Falls, his name's Brandon. He's one of the guys who stayed for a very long time. He's a younger guy. And he's like, I just was here a couple days ago, you know, he just left to get stuff or whatever. And there was like this row of flags. And then he said that there was like 2 more sections in that time, just a couple days of when he was gone. Mm-hmm. So it just shows you the amount of people, the flow, and just a week time, you know, there was a lot of people.
Yeah. I was really impressed too by a lot of the nations and like all different people that came to support Standing Rock. I mean, there was a lot of good people, and there was a few of them that we met that, you know, well, we brought you supplies, so you need to do this. And we're like, yeah. Here, let me help load your supplies back up. You know?
There's so many clothes. I know that. They're like, we don't need no more clothes. And the school supplies, I guess, you know, a lot of people donated for the school.
Yep. Yeah, we did what was it, the Dome. They went and did education in there. They had a lot of teachers that came and volunteered. Chiron went over there a few times. His teacher was a Harvard professor. Oh. And everything. I can't remember his name and anything, but yeah, he would sit down with Chiron and he would do math with him. Because I was struggling back here in Sioux Falls, my employer at the time, they called DSS on me, said that they didn't know where my children were. I put my children in harm's way in Standing Rock.
I know, they don't mess around here in Sioux Falls. Your kid's gone for too long. They're like,
what the hell's going on? I think it's like less than a week. I think if your kid misses a week total in the whole school year, you can get in trouble. If,
like, Lyric, like, when she gets sick, like, if she's gone, like, they'll call me by, like, 10 a.m. and be like, where the hell is Lyric at?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, that's how my daughter's school is, too.
Yeah, but Miss Skoke said at our school, man, she was awesome. She went and talked to the school board. She said, I know exactly where the boys are. There's a blizzard. She said, I've been watching it. She said, and when Holona gets service, she lets me know what's going on. And when Kyra came back, he came back with a stack of work. You know, it's not like he was sitting around.
Did they do it by grade level too then?
Yeah, they went and started talking with the boys and everything about, you know, well, what are you guys doing in school right now, you know, what grade you are in, and then they start going for their cards like, oh, this is too easy, so they'd go up another level, you know, until they could find out where he was. And And then it wasn't just Ochete Shakawee side that was doing it. Rosebud started adopting it too. There was a school bus that came over, and they had it in the back like that by the youth council and everything that was doing school.
Cool.
Yeah, that's awesome that they had that available to everybody.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's your right as a parent. Because a lot of people homeschool. It's no different than that. You know?
Yeah. So what do they do in that case? Like come in and check on you if you homeschool them, or
no homeschool? You have to get a curriculum and everything from the state to do homeschooling.
So you didn't get in trouble if the schoolwork that he did counted for something.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then like a lot of the people too, they ended up sending their children to school in town.
Oh.
Yeah, I met a couple.
What was the closest then? 48?
I think so.
Yeah.
The bus came right down there. See that bus sign and everything, but then they shut that off and everything. So like a lot of the parents would take them up to that Cannonball exit right there, to turn and everything, and then the bus would meet them right there.
Okay.
And so they were still going to school. Mine went to school at 3 o'clock in the morning with me every morning.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Because after I was in charge of helping people like that, finding them temporary shelter, I would get up in the morning. Chiron would get up, he'd throw a log in, brush his teeth, go start the van for me, and we'd go down the strip, and I'd start knocking on, people's tents, or tarpies, are you guys okay? You alive in there? Did you freeze?
Yeah.
Did you need some coffee? Can you go start it?
Was there anybody that did get sick?
Yeah, there was a lot of people that got sick. I don't know if it was really necessarily a weather factor. I think it was a lot more with the chemicals in the air. Because when we came back, we had a hard time. I have asthma, and when I got back, my allergy doctor, he ran so many tests and put me on so much crap. Because of all the chemicals in the air. Everybody's like, oh, well, when the wind picks up, it took all the chemicals away. I said, no. I said, you don't understand. I said, it deposits on your skin. It deposits on your clothes, your sleeping bags, your car, your tent or whatever you're sleeping in. It's on the ground, the grass. And you could see it. If you were there, you could see the smoke. It was beautiful when you came in, especially at nighttime when we did. You could see all the chimney stocks going, and you could hear people, say, Mini Wichoni, or they Wichagalang, or war whooping, and it was beautiful to hear that, and see everybody, trying to come back to who we are.
Mm-hmm.
We came in at nighttime too. I think it was like midnight, and I was thinking like, oh, I felt nervous a little bit because I was like, oh, what if everyone's sleeping and no one's up? And I was like, there was a lot of people.
Yeah.
We went to the camp. It was like a Standing Rock camp, and they welcomed us, and there was probably like, I don't know, like 30 people, and they were all from different bands, tribes, and we were by some people from New York, the New York natives.
Lumbee?
I think so. I'm not familiar, but yeah, they were there, and then the Standing Rock, and then there were some people from like Pine Ridge and a few other areas, and they were all singing.
What was it? Wild Oglalas?
Yeah, they would ride around, and I thought that was really cool. And they were trying to figure out what songs they could sing that they all knew and stuff. So, and we stayed up pretty late, like 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah, I used to like it too because you could hear story time, over the mic. They would talk about creation stories, how we're connected to the stars and how we're connected to the water, and Unchi Maka, Mother Earth, and that. I could hear them all the time, and they protected each other. It was the best community that I've ever been in. As a child, I grew up in Grass Mountain. We came from a small community. Everybody took care of each other's children.
Where's that at?
Grass Mountain's in Rosebud, South Dakota.
Okay.
In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's like that.
It's really beautiful.
I know.
It's really
like the
beautiful.
only place that grew anything. Like, we got trees.
I'm not from
and the
South
water
Dakota,
runs
so
right along it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I'm always like, I know where some places are, and I've been to some reses, but when you're not from there, you're like, you don't know everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up in a small community, and then to have that feeling of protection and safety and stuff like that in this big giant community, it felt really good. Especially too, I forgot a lot of things growing up. I forgot when plums are ripe, when choke cherries are ripe, how to tell which one's female and male sage, and
when I grew up, my mom didn't believe in all of that. Because she was like from the boarding school days, and she never didn't teach us the language and even like the studies or anything. So when I learned it, I had to go to actual college, take Lakota Studies, History and Culture, and that's how I learned about my own culture.
Yeah, and for me, I grew up away from
some dude with an English accent.
That could speak better than Lakota.
I knew more about my own stuff than I did.
Yeah, that's kind of the same for me. When I went to Standing Rock, it was like I think my work brought me a lot to reconnect with my culture, because I was 21 when I did my internship, 22 when I started my job, and we work with tribal communities and we do research and stuff like that. So I've met a lot of well-known people and people who practice their culture all the time. And so I'd go to like presentations and listen to them, and that's probably how I gained a lot of my knowledge, and then from school too, but mainly from talking to people that I've met throughout the past like 5 years or so. And like when I went back, it was like, man, this is only a taste of probably what it felt like for our ancestors. Like, it was just beautiful to not like always be on your phone, and you always had something to do, to keep you busy.
You had lots of stuff to do. If you didn't have nothing to do, then you were lazy.
That would be one of the lazy ones.
Just strolling around.
Yeah.
We don't even know who said that quote. Chiron, he's only 10 and everything. He went and asked for this guy to help him cut some wood. He was walking by, and here this guy was like, well, no, I'm going to go to the kitchen. I'm going to go see what they're making for breakfast and everything, get some coffee. And Chiron's like, well, I'm out here cutting wood, and he was like, did you ever hear that one saying? And he's like, what's that? He goes, a man that works before he eats is stealing, or something like that. And that guy was like, what? I'm not stealing anything. He's like, well, it's okay. I'm 10 years old. I'll cut wood for all of you.
Good job. Good job.
So I was like, shit. I don't know. My spirit felt so good being there, though. I felt home. I don't know.
I know. I was watching everybody's like live posts and stuff, and it's just like very emotional,
And people are so friendly. Like, they would just be like, hey, how are you? Where are you from? That's how people introduce themselves. Like, where are you from? Not like, what's your name? And so that's different too, because nowadays it's like, who are you? Who are you? That you don't even ask about people's families anymore.
Yeah. We do, huh? When you're trying to snag.
Who's your grandma?
Who's her sisters and brothers?
But yeah, it was a really good feeling. And my daughter, they were, how old are they now? They're 10 and 11 now, but when we went, they would have been 9 and 10. And so they were just like, this is so cool. And they were like crying when we left. They wanted to stay longer, and they were just like,
oh yeah,
they just wanted to be there, and I'm so glad we brought them, because they'll probably never be able to experience anything like that ever again.
That was the whole point of taking my children. A lot of people are like, well, why did you take your children and subject them to be a part of that? They could have got hurt. So I said, well, I didn't take my children to the bridge to stand before the police. I sat there. I said, so they can get brutalized. I said, I didn't do that. I said, that isn't why we went. I said, we went there to stand in solidarity. I said, with Sitting Bull's people. I said, those are our people. I said, those are our family. I said, and we all need to come back together. They could have stayed home, yes. I said, and Chiron and my other boys could have been on their phone like this. Oh, yeah, my mom's a water protector. And that would have been the end of it. But you sit there and you talk to my boys, since they camped there, they lived that life. They ate the food there, and they celebrated and they shared in all these ceremonies there. He'll sit there and tell you 10,000 people directly will get affected by this pipeline. And then another 50, and then it's going to keep going. 18 million people are going to get affected by this water that's going to be all contaminated with oil. My 10-year-old can tell you that. And he could tell you about the daily task about living as a oyate, and everything. Living together is a strong Tioshpai. And it wasn't all Native Americans, like you said before. There was all different nationalities there. And we embraced all of them as our brothers and sisters, our mothers and our fathers and everything. When we all came together, it was just like, it didn't make a difference if your skin was lighter than mine, if you had much tattoos, I don't know.
And what I really appreciated too is like there were people there to kind of, when ceremonies were going on, to like let non-native people know like the rules, kind of not rules, but kind of like how things are done. Like, take your shoes off, take your hats off. Like, these things that are simple for us that we know that like, these people are it's very foreign to them, and so I thought that was cool that they had like a cultural liaison, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it was cool, and I corrected a lot of people. Like, a lot of them were like, well, I was told to do this. I said, whoa. But I didn't sit there and say, no, you're doing it wrong. Mm-hmm. I respectfully asked them, who told you? Because I wanted to go talk to that person. Mm-hmm. You know, if they were doing something that wasn't right, I'd be like, well, can you just tell me who told you? You know, and I'd be like,
put their ass in check.
You damn straight I did. I was very nice to those people, but as soon as I got up there, I was like, listen here, dang it. You're talking shit over there to those people. They want their money back.
Yeah. Well, I think that's something that, like, a lot of people, you know, they try to paint this as, like, a native issue, or, you know, it's such a, you know, group us as natives. But, I mean, fucking everybody needs clean water. So, I mean, I don't understand why, you know, they it's on native land, but, I mean, this is an issue that's going to affect everybody, regardless of color or, you know, gender.
Yeah, why are we all of a sudden the bad people for wanting clean water to drink, you know?
So
what I always hear, too, is, like, people who don't understand why this issue, they're also like, well, those people drove cars, didn't they, to get there?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, obviously, get me an electric car, I'll ride it, but I'm not going to spend like $50,000 on it.
Yeah.
It's
like,
really
make it
facetious
affordable
logic, you know?
Yeah. Like but I don't know.
That's always like with that Meyer guy. Is that his name?
I don't know.
The sheriff guy?
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you know, when we were sitting up there, I was like, hey, I said, do you like clean underwear? You know, I was like, how do you wash that shit? You know? I was like, crap. I said, man, you must be washing it in oil. I was like, crap.
Has anybody seen I think it's a YouTube video of the guy, like, he doesn't like Native Americans or the No Dapple people, and he chugs that can of oil, or the bottle of oil. Have you seen that?
Shit.
I was like, oh my god, you should show the after video of what happened to him. If he's alive.
There's so many videos out there. I never got to watch that one.
Yeah, he did too. He was all like, you guys are ignorant.
Yeah, super rednecky, you know. He's just like,
oil's good. So I was like, you know, and I did. I told everybody too. I said, we are all at fault for this destruction of this earth. We did all of this. You know, I said, yes, I still have a vehicle. You know, I've really limited what we do now. You know, we're trying.
Yeah, you think about it more.
You know, but I did. I told them straight out, we are all responsible for the destruction of this earth. I said, we all did this. I said, but now it's time, I said, that we start to open up our big-ass heads, you know, and come together and start finding new renewable energy. I said, because, like, you know, as many times as our ancestors have been saying, we borrowed this land. Not from, you know, our parents, but from our children.
Yeah, and you know? So in that documentary, The Wake, they talk about that quite a bit, and they also talk about how it was a place for people to come back to remember their values and who we are as people.
Watching that video, and like watching other stuff like that, it's hard to not get emotional and like just see, you know, how everybody's just living, you know, as one, and you know, how we used to live and stuff, and then just seeing, like, I don't know what else to call it, but like the man or the fucking government or whatever, just, you know, shooting people and like fucking sicking dogs on people. It's just like, what is happening here?
And if you watch
like,
that video of the dog attack, that was one of the things that made me just go off.
Me too.
Watching that. But you can tell that dog is scared too, and it even attacks its owner.
Oh yeah, what's that chick's name? I can't remember her name.
I can't remember.
Ashley Nicole Welch.
She's not freaking important.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a freaking ass. You know, and a lot of people too, they're all like, oh, what's Tiger Swan? I was like, ugh. I sat there. Tiger Swan is an elite military force. I said they go and they fight like, okay, I'm going to say it wrong. Is it jihada? Or
jihadists?
Jihadists. Yeah, that's the whole freaking thing of their missionary thing, is to go and fight these big-ass people in different countries and everything, and they use those military tactics in Standing Rock. Not one person was found there with a what do you call that, like a gun or bombs or some other crap like that, and he's got to go pee and take off so he can go pee. But yeah, they didn't find any of that stuff there, you know, and they kept saying, you know, oh, there's a bunch of drugs and you know, show me, you know, because I work closely with security on our side, and the Akichatas on the other side, they worked with, you know, Curly and Madonna. They were Akichatas, you know, and I was right there with them everywhere they went. So you show me all these drugs and that they found on us, and all these
because
guns.
I mean, it was kind of one of their rules was like, you know, don't come with weapons, don't bring drugs, or if you're, you know, thinking of that, then don't come.
Yeah, that's it. We respect our elders, you know? It doesn't make a difference what color you are, you know? We respect our elders.
Yeah, the response, it was just absurd. There were so many moments I could point to, but one of them that's sticking with me is the point where they had the surface-to-air missile launchers on this hill overlooking the camp.
Oh yeah.
And it was like mechanized surface-to-air missile platform, and they're like, well, they're using the infrared cameras in the missile launcher, and I'm like, still, nobody like pulling that shit out of the parking lot was just like, this is a really terrible idea. What do you think when you're driving that up to a camp? Where you're like, this is a really great idea. I'm just, yeah.
I don't get the people.
I don't see how they didn't get in trouble for any of that. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, like it's like
these people are still human beings, you know.
And who does that? Like, who's the people that are behind that shit? Like it's your job, and you go home at night, and like, how was work today, honey? Oh, we just fucking shot a bunch of Indians. Like, fucking, like who? Like, that's
women
your job.
And children included.
It's just like, Jesus Christ. I don't know.
I know. Looking at those pictures of people who got shot by those rubber bullets, is like, holy crap. I mean, one leg was like...
And what about that chick? Was that true? I saw it on Facebook. I don't know. Everything on Facebook is true. But this chick had a blown open arm or something. Was that real?
Oh, that's true. Arm?
That was real.
A leg.
That was real.
Yeah, she lost the limb.
Yeah.
There in that documentary on Netflix, that Awake, shows like a reporter gets shot. Like she's like talking to somebody and somebody
they just shot her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, from across the river,
across the water. Like everyone was freaking out. Like, what the heck,
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah,
she was like, not even like there's this frontline group that was along the riverbank, and she's like 50 feet back from that.
Yeah,
she's doing a one-on-one interview with someone, so to hear them over, with the microphone and stuff, like they do off from the site.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, she just gets dropped by a rubber bullet or whatever.
Yeah, there was only certain media that was allowed, and that was only the ones for the on the state and the government side. That what the hell is that ass's name? The governor over there. He only allowed certain ones, to come in, and then they made it look like we were the bad guys, that we were the ones that were causing all the chaos. I was like, shoot! I said, all night long, there was a plane all night, but you never seen the damn thing.
Yeah, we heard it too.
And everybody, and then Dewey, they had infrared, those little goggle things, and everything like that. And you could see it just going in circles like that. But when you took it off, you couldn't see it because they shut their lights off. How illegal is that?
Right.
To be cruising around, no damn lights on. I was like, get a little closer and hit a tree. So
it's got to be with the government if the military is not shooting them down.
Yeah. And then during the daytime, we had the helicopter. There's so many times you can flip off a fucking helicopter before you get tired of it. So after a while, just like, whatever.
I know. I was just like, is this real right now? Like, when we were there, I couldn't believe it. Like, what do they think we're doing over there? Making bombs or what?
Yeah, I was like, after a while, Chiron, he went and said, well, I live in a city, so we hear planes all the time.
I know. It didn't really bug me because Sioux Falls, I live right
I think they were doing so much fucked up shit to the native people that they were just trying to catch any little tiny thing that the native people were doing to say, oh, they were doing this, that's why we did that, Yeah.
Like that, whenever they said that, like, the people were, like, vandalizing those cars or whatever, or something like that, and that's why they had that excuse to why they could shoot all those people and, spray them down with water at, like, 1 in the morning.
They made a good point, that, what's his name, Prolific? Is that his name? Yeah. On the documentary, he's like, they came in, gave me a warrant before they did, like, the people who vandalized, like, the machinery.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because he had
the drone.
The drone flying around.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dewey's kept getting shot down. I don't know how many times that guy got new drones.
Those are expensive.
I know. I was watching all his posts.
Then they kept harassing him, because they knew he was with the media. He was like constantly on their radar. They like knew him by first, last name, and
which is crazy.
I know. Oh, I already know your social security number. Leave your card in there.
Yeah, I was watching an interview the other day with that Chase Iron Eyes, and that's what he was saying. Like they were following him, following him around, and like pretty much spying on the guy.
Well, that's why they had everybody like. Remember whenever everybody was like had to check in, like they made on Facebook, like everybody like check in on Facebook that you're there.
Yeah.
Because they were like following people, like to see who was all up there, and they would dig around on their Facebook and figure out who they were and that kind of stuff. So if they flooded it with everybody up there, then they didn't have, the time to waste with all that.
Which I checked in when they did that.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah.
My friend was like, "I just saw you like 5 minutes ago."
I know. I didn't know what was going on, so I was just like, I seen some people that I was like, "Did you really go up there?" Because I couldn't picture them actually going up there.
Yeah, I did the check-in, but I didn't sign that paper. Did you see that big old thing that they have with like everybody, like a lot of people signed in, and then they got a picture like Sitting Bull in the middle, and there's like a bunch of counted the people of that signed some kind of register. Well, they got a big old paper and everything that has like a lot of people that signed in on this register that they were at Standing Rock and everything. It looks like a big old legal sheet, or even bigger like that. Just has a bunch of people's names all the way down. Everybody's like, well, why didn't you put your name on it? Because a lot of people from Chitown Camp that I was with, they were on there. And I said, well, because I said this was a personal thing for me and my family. I said there, I didn't go and want to go up there and take a bunch of pictures, and just be a part of history. I am part of the history. We are history, present.
I don't need to sign a paper. Don't let everybody know I was there.
Yeah, I know I was there. I pooped there.
My husband Mike, he took some pictures of mostly the girls doing things and stuff, and he didn't share none of it on Facebook. He's like, that's for us and for the girls to look back on. I posted like a couple, but you couldn't really tell where it was,
I think after a while it got to be like that was like the cool place to go, and everybody was going there for a lot of the wrong reasons, like just to get a picture taken and that kind of stuff. It was like
see someone famous, maybe.
Man, I miss Mark Ruffalo. I was pissed.
Did Leonardo DiCaprio go
No,
there?
I didn't see his ass either.
Yeah.
I got to hang out with what's his face's name though. I'm gonna say it wrong. I don't even know his name. James somebody.
Cromwell.
Yeah. I didn't even know they did. He was like, "You want to take a picture?" I said, "I guess." I was all standing like that, and I posted it on my face. I said, "Some white guy want to take pictures with me," and they're like, "Oh my God, you know who that is?" I was like, "No."
He was in Babe.
Yeah, he was in Babe. He was a warden on the Green Mile and the Longest Yard.
He was in Spider-Man 3 too.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Season 3 of American Horror Story.
Oh jeez.
So did you, since you were up there for a longer portion of time, did you get to meet some of like the youth that ran from Standing Rock to?
Tobias. I'm gonna murder everybody's name. I'm really bad with names.
Yeah, I am too.
I knew that their head council and everything that they had up there, and on the Rosebud side, their council over there from Colorado. And we got to hang out with them.
Were they there during the cold months too?
Yeah.
Or?
Yep. A lot of them stayed. During the cold months, you didn't really see a lot of people because if you were there, I mean, there was like, I didn't even recognize a lot of the stuff because it was the snow was so high, the drifts and everything.
And everybody's so bundled up too, I suppose.
And we made sure that we did check-ins with people. We'd have people that would still go out. They'd be knocking, hey, and yeah. We had to do a lot of corrections, though, because women were walking around saying, I hope. I was like, no, Let me tell you women something. Yeah, even after the governor and them stopped our roll-offs, because we paid for our own roll-offs, so we can control our trash and our recycle. And, man, I'm so thankful for some of those hippies. Man, them guys are freaking awesome. No, man. When it was just me and Chiron, when me and Chiron had that tarpy, I mean, there was a couple people we met, Garrett, John, and, dang, I keep murdering her name. I can't remember her name right offhand, but we had a couple people that came to stay with us. John's an old hippie. Garrett, he's a modern hippie dude, and everything, and they were teaching us, different stuff. About how to recycle, what is recyclable and what isn't, and how to make compost piles and all this and that. That girl tried to make me swear off toilet paper. That shit was not happening.
Nope. Nope.
She was all like, you just drip off. I was like, shit.
Gross.
I know.
What
about
when you
shake her
poop?
head. Yeah.
What about when you
She was
poop?
like, well, I don't know. She didn't. I asked her that, and she was like, well, save a tree. So I was like, hell
Fuck
no.
that.
I sat there. I said,
Like,
it's already on the
grab on the
floor.
ground like a dog.
This toilet paper's already made. It's already done. That tree's already cut.
But I know. I was like, shoot, I'll think about it next time.
The tree's already cut.
But they taught us a lot of stuff. I mean, I've heard of compost toilets, but I've never really used one before. I was like, oh my God, it's gonna be like the worst outhouse ever. I've had to grow up with outhouses, but no, they're freaking awesome. they built a big old giant bathroom and everything with stalls in it, and then it had buckets in there with these biodegradable compost bags, and then they had sawdust. 1 scoop for pee, 2 for number 2, you know. And it didn't stink in there because, like, whenever the bags got half full, you know, people would take them out and put them in a bigger one. Yeah. And then this farmer guy wanted all of our shit. He wanted all of it. I don't know, man.
Reusable.
It's fertilizer. It's fertilizer.
Cloning people with
I mean, that's what I...
Yeah, throwing some good food up there.
Yeah, you're getting corn and all this other stuff from North Dakota. I'm good.
Checking your labels.
I know, right? But yeah, he had a big old building he built and over there right off of Cannonball Exit there, and they were just dropping them right in there, and he used it on his land.
Crazy. So is there people still up there?
No, when I was there, I drove by. It's all green grass. No, not
so
grass,
like
but weeds or whatever.
They're like, it's just completely gone.
Yeah, there's no sign or nothing, so if you've never been there, you probably wouldn't know.
Did you go into Cannonball?
No, I didn't go. I was in Fort Yates is where I went, but I was in Bismarck too for a little bit.
Because then I think they just got done packing up.
Did they?
Yeah, because they had that one on top. Because remember they had Crow Creek was still up there too. Because we just had people that just left from there.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. It didn't look like anybody to me, but there was like this kind of on the other side of the bridge going back, you know?
Yeah.
And up a ways in someone's land, I don't know if it was just their own thing, but they had a teepee.
Yeah, I think that's where the Crow Creek
and they had some teepees up and stuff like that, and there was some people there, but it was away from the camp.
Yeah, they're not allowed to be back down there because apparently it was going to flood.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know what flooded.
Yeah, so if that's what it was, then yeah, I seen people right there.
Yeah. Yeah, they still have people up there that they've been still taking stuff down. Because a lot of them, you know, I felt bad, you know, for a lot of people because they literally gave up their lives.
Yeah, that's what was hard for me going down there. Because, like, you don't want to leave once you get there, but it's like, oh, I had this whole life and...
Yeah. You know what pissed me off though? Is a lot of people kept sitting there saying, "Oh, you know, I gotta get back to reality." I'm like, "What the fuck?" You know? I was like, "This is reality. What the hell's the matter with you people?" Yeah. You know, and I just said, "I don't know what alternate universe you live on." You know, I sat there and said, "But this is
that was real what you experienced."
I know, right? Didn't that shit hurt when it hit you? You know, and a lot of people they got on my nerves too because they would like purposely throw themselves in front of them police and. You know, so they can go back and say, "Yeah, I got shot with look at that, I got one right here."
Shit, gotta do it up though. Shit, I have a story about it. But
yeah, I got shot. Gabe would be up there.
I would be, yeah.
He's sticking his arm out, hiding the rest of his body, just trying to get hit in his arm.
So I'd be like, punch me real hard in the shoulder once.
That got you. Pushed himself into that barbed wire. They grabbed me from the other side.
I mean, it's always hard to know people's real intentions, you know.
Oh yeah, I met some pretty shady ass people too and everything. We had to get them escorted out of Chitown Camp.
Yeah, wasn't there
from Sichongu?
Yeah, no, from other people that came in. You know, they kept calling them infiltrators. It was just the stuff that they were putting bugs in people's ears. You know, like my 10-year-old, he was sitting there and they kept telling him, "Don't go to sleep tonight because then they're coming over from Sacred Stone." They came down and they're all like, "Don't go to sleep" and everything like that because the military are coming in tonight and they're gonna wake everybody up and they're gonna knock everybody's lodges over. You know, protect your mom. And so my 10-year-old got scared. He was like, "Mom, what the hell's going on? I don't want to go to sleep. Can we sleep in the van?" So I was like, "We ain't sleeping in no damn van. I want to sleep where it's nice and warm." You know, and then here they kept going through and telling people, you know, you better watch out. They're gonna get all your children are gonna go to. It's not DSS, it's CPS. Mm-hmm. You know, yeah. And I was like, what the hell? So I ended up going to meet with some of the Kichetas, and they found that person. They're like, why are you scaring people's children? You know, well, that's what we heard is they're coming in tonight. And they were like, well, where'd you hear this from? You know, especially me. Don't be scaring my children, man. I'm standing there with a fucking hatchet, you know, and you're trying to scare my child. I was all like, man, this can go either way. You know? This is my baby. But it was, I don't know.
You always hear that with like with riots and stuff like that, or you know, not riots, but fucking
protests.
Yeah, protests where like the enemy will have people on the other side, like sort of like trying to break things down, so that way, they'll have infiltrators, so that way, like, then they can blame all this stuff on, like, oh, well, these guys, went crazy, but they were the ones that were planting the seeds that were, making things the way, into their favor.
A double agent.
Yeah.
It sounds, it sounds paranoid, but the FBI is like legendary for doing, especially when you get into anything that's like federal. You see a lot of that.
Yeah, for sure.
X-Files shit too. Man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Get some people off their rockers and they just come in with like crazy shit, and you're like, what? I was like, what are you smoking? What are you doing? But it was cool though. I met a lot of different people.
When I went, I was not expecting like to see like the hippies or whatever.
Oh god, I knew there'd be hippies there.
I knew it, but then they were like walking around barefoot and everything, which is cool. But then there's some guys were wearing some skirt type thingies, where it's like kind of showed their legs up top, and the girls were like, "Wow," and like I was like, "It's okay. It's just what they prefer to wear and." Be respectful.
There was a couple of them, man. That I ain't gonna lie, man. I literally went to the supply tent and I was carrying around toothbrushes and toothpaste. I am not shitting you. I did.
They don't like it.
No, because
they don't like fluoride.
No, fluoride's a government conspiracy thing, and I was like, okay, I don't give a shit. But if
or
you're gonna talk to me,
if
you're gonna talk to me, you're gonna brush that shit. I don't care.
Or stand over there and talk really loud.
And a lot of them like, sister, I'm like,
Yeah, that's how I am. I can't be around people if they have like BO or bad breath. I'm just like, whoa,
so
back it up.
Fuck, man. I was like, seriously, brother, brush your teeth. I want to live traditionally. I said, hell no. I said, we brushed our teeth. We freaking took baths. We combed our hairs. I said, so what you trying to say? We're savages? No, sister. And I was like, shut up and go freaking wash your ass. Get some water from the river. Go boil it and wash up.
Here's the real question. This is what I want to know.
Uh-oh.
Was there a lot of snagging going on?
There's had a teepee creep.
I know, like we were by younger people. So I
yes, there was a few marriages.
I saw one of them on.
There's a few dapple babies.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
Chiron, if he would have came in here, he could have told you about his experience.
Oh, got a girlfriend?
Yes.
Was she from afar? Or?
Yes, we ain't related to nobody like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just standing over there cheesing out.
He was like, yeah, Mom, I'm going to go cut some wood and everything. And here I saw him walking around across the river. And
he was cutting wood.
Yeah. That's the wrong kind of wood. And then we ended up catching people snagging in the, what was it? The compost tent.
Gross.
Yeah, I'm not even shitting you. Literally shitting you. I had Chiron walk with me over there, and in here I said, "Walk in there first."
In the outhouse?
Yeah. Yes, the freaking outhouse was badass though. I mean, it was like a big old giant tent.
Not badass enough. It'll never be badass enough for me to take part in sexual anything.
Here, Chiron walked in there first, and then all of a sudden he heard something like music, and this guy was like fiddling with these Christmas lights, trying to turn them on. And then here, Chiron's like, "What are you doing?" And he saw this woman run over to the back, and she's trying to shut the phone off. Because they're jamming the music, too. He's like, oh, I'm trying to...
Got some baby making music going.
In the fucking compost area.
Like that. Right. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Shit.
It's the only private area they can find.
After I used the bathroom, Kyrie came out, Mom, guess what they were doing? He goes, they were kissing. And they were listening, and that woman was trying to act like she was on her phone talking, and music still playing. So he was like, oh my God, I said, that's going to be my new snagging story there.
I thought you were going to say snagging spot.
Not good. Okay. I was looking for a no dapple guy or one of those Hollywood Indians up there. I didn't score.
Damn it.
Like, babe, beat me in the shit tank.
Worst pickup line ever.
It's the G spot.
It's the compost spot.
So to sum it up, yes.
Yeah, because I would have been on full fucking snag mode up there.
Oh yeah.
Of course you would have.
Yeah.
Walking around with your wounds you purposely got earlier.
Yeah.
Check this out.
Chilling
your
with
one wounded spot.
Like,
just nursing
babe, I took a bullet.
It's okay, You got herbal teas for that.
You got any rubs for this?
You want to share my sleeping bag?
That's what was cool about the camp too, though, is that they had medics out there.
Oh yeah, I loved our medic in Chitown Camp. They were badass.
Yeah.
Was it somebody from Chitown?
No,
or?
she was from Eugene, Oregon, I believe. Washington, Oregon.
Yeah, they were like real medics. Some of them like paramedics.
Yeah.
A lot of different.
I met a couple. Like a lot of people were like, you know, oh yeah, all these people are just here, you know, just a genre of people. And you know what? When you sit down with them, shit, half of them were lawyers. Some of them even ran for state, you know, senators and everything. We met some psychiatrists, which I didn't need to talk to any. I had to educate them guys in warfare. Because I said, we grew up this way. I grew up around AIM people. You know, I said, so I had to teach them some stuff. But, you know, I mean, I even met some doctors. I met teachers, entrepreneurs, you know, people that own successful businesses. You know, and it was cool, you know. Met a bunch of rappers. We even met that one dude. Oh, man, I'm going to murder his name, too, because I don't even know names. That Black Eyed Pea guy.
Taboo.
Yeah, you know, and he was awesome. He was like, nope, I don't want no pictures. You know, and I wasn't trying to take pictures of anybody. Shit, we were running from the media. I mean, this guy, you know, like that. He was like, I don't want no pictures. He said, I want to come down here and stand with my people and see what's
Meanwhile,
going
he
on.
shot a music video that's up for a video.
Right.
Music.
I was like, what
I don't want no pictures, but let's shoot a video real quick.
Yeah, so I was like, what the hell? Yeah, they did that at the casino.
Wow. Oh, shit.
Oh, he did it at the casino and everything. They invited us. We even got to hang out with Josh Fox. I didn't know who the dude was. He was with my uncle, Mick Casino, and my uncle was trying to introduce. I just reached out to shake this man's hand. This woman fell off a horse. So I was like, oh, fuck. I was the only one with the radio, so I was like, gotta go. Nice to meet you. And I took off and called in someone for her. And when I came back, he was already busy. They were doing a for the Awakening. You know, Josh and them went and did all that. So, Flora. Is that her name? Flores.
I don't know.
The girl that's in the Awakening. Yeah. Her, they were talking with them and everything, and Mixie kept saying, come over here, and I was like, I'm busy. You know, I was trying to watch my son, because he just started learning how to cut wood, and I didn't want him cutting off my baby toes, and stuff, but, you know, later on that night, we went to go back over there, and here I was talking to him, and he had a jacket on. I said, did you get your jacket from the donation pile, you know, because I saw the Sundance thing. He was like, no, it's my coat. He said, do you know what Sundance Festival is? I was like, dude, I'm Indian. I said, and I love movies, man. I said, can you see all this? And he was like, no. He goes, I'm a producer, you know, and everything. So I said, that's cool. He said, but I'm here to stand in solidarity, you know, and get the word out there, you know, and all this. So I said, right on, cool. And he invited me and Chiron to go to that concert that they had at the casino. Yeah. Which, you know, I think they should have had it on the grounds. You know, if you're coming there to raise awareness and all this nonprofit stuff, you know, it should have been on the grounds. You know, instead of taking everybody to casino. Whatever. Chiron straight told him no, shook his hand. And he was like, well, why don't you want to go? I got free tickets for water protectors. And Chiron told him, he said, the only concert I want to see is the stars in the sky. He said, and sit around the spirit fire. You know, the sacred fire, my bad. And everything like that, you know. So Josh, he respected that. He shook Chiron's hand, shook mine, you know. Everything, that's what we did. We sat there and...
So were you up there whenever the dog attack happened?
No, we came the next day.
Okay.
Yep, we came the next day.
So
I wanted to grab that woman.
The bridge?
Yeah. We went up there. I had a hard time, though. I didn't want to be at the bridge, but I wanted to be at the bridge. But I was conflicting because I know who I am spiritually. I know who I am as a person. Only person that really knows me here is Gabe. You know, and my son. Yeah, I know exactly what I'm capable of. And
time out. We can edit this out later if you have to. But do you remember we were in 5th grade together? You're a fucking crazy bitch, man. You got hauled away by the cops one day.
Oh my God, County.
Yep.
Okay, Kat knows me very well.
It's like, wait a minute, I do know what you're capable of.
Okay, yeah. Kat done did. Threw it out there.
5th grade, man.
I know. 5th grade was like the shit, man.
That's when it starts there.
No, it started before that. Yeah. I knew what I was capable
of. Yeah, to kind of bring it back to what you're saying, it is, you're so angry.
Yeah.
You're hearing about all that, and you just, like, want to be there. And,
yeah.
Like, but then a part of you is like, you know, that's not
what
we should do. Or
no, I mean, there was enough people up there. There was people, you know, I gotta honestly say that there was people there purposely to agitate the police. You know, a lot of people are going to get mad at me for saying that, you know, oh, you need to just stand with the people. You need to always defend it. But there was a bunch of assholes there that purposely came up there.
Probably those double agents.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Probably insiders from the other side. But, like, I was watching a live feed, and this guy, like, pushed a woman towards the area where there was cops and stuff. And I was like, what the heck? Because I was like, I couldn't even work when all that was going on.
Oh, God, me too.
Because I was just, like, watching live feeds. Like, a notification would come up, and I just watch them.
Just getting like, so angry, but, you know, you shouldn't be angry. You should be trying to be peaceful.
My biggest thing, too, is I had to maintain composure, too, for my children that I had up there.
Yeah.
You know, like, we went up there, like I said, to stand with the people. Let them know that we support, you know, everybody in that that uses this water. You know, and it's not even just this body of water. It's the people finally have had enough. They've said enough. We're tired of this shit. Because if you really look at it, the original line was supposed to go through Bismarck. Yeah. And those, you know, those folks up there, especially in that urban area, they're like, fuck this. Nope.
Yeah.
You take all that dirty ass shit somewhere else running along the reservation line. They don't give a shit. Give them some money. They're going to go drink, you know, and they'll give it to you. You know, but we're tired of it. You know, I mean, we're dealing with stuff right now in Pine Ridge. You know, we're dealing with Line 3 trying to come through Rosebud.
That's not gonna happen.
Did you see the, I don't know if you guys watched that documentary, but it kind of, like, maps out what's all going on right now, where, where they're planning.
My brother was, like, one of the first ones to be a water protector. Whenever the KXL tried to go through Rosebud, he was the one that stayed at that camp out there 24/7. He never left, gave up, like, I don't know how many months, almost a year of his life.
Yeah, I respect your brother, man. I went and met him out there, and then he gave me and my children a place to stay out there, and I asked him, what do you guys need? You know, and he was like, off. So I was up here, so I went and worked with a couple people, and we got 3 cases of off, you know, and took it over there. You know, I had a lot of respect for him, you know.
Yeah, he was out there for a long time.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Char, what inspired you to, like, start these rallies here in town?
Probably how mad I was. You know, the first one I was just like, okay, let's just make it just people I knew, or, you know, invite people they knew, kind of like a, you know, mutual thing, and to pray and that way. And so there was, like, food, and people came, and it was mostly people I knew, and they brought people they knew. So it was all direct people. And then I guess it was just, like, that passion of just, like, wanting to help and wanting to, you know, when you work and stuff, living in the city life, like, you can't get away for too long, you know.
Yeah.
And I was just like, how can I, and I don't like media and stuff like that, so it was hard for me, because I was like, I don't want media, and then people are saying, like, well, it's good if there's media, and so I was just like, I just don't want to, though, you know.
Yeah.
And so, like, freaking KSFY showed up, and
I know you were like, oh my God, I'm so horrible at public speaking.
I know, but, you know, it's just like that passion you have, and I think really over the years I've wanted to give back to my people in some way, or to create that voice, especially in Sioux Falls, because I feel like there's natives here, and even if it's a small percentage, to me it's a lot, because I kind of grew up in Sioux Falls, and when there was, like, freaking, you could count all the natives here, you know, and know their families, and now it's like, you see them.
Well, I'm glad you did that stuff, because, like, I wanted to go up there, but my legal situations prevent me from leaving the county at the moment. So, like, you know, I did what I could here, and I mean, it's not much, but I mean, I'm glad that you put those on, so that way I could at least be a part of it.
Because there was a lot of people, I mean, they felt the same way. They wanted to give back in some way and be there, but they couldn't be.
Yeah.
And I know there were some people on, like, that were out there, and, like, we don't need supplies, we need you to be out here, but, you know, it's just, like,
a lot of people couldn't make it. You know, a lot of people felt guilty.
A lot of people have a lot of kids. You know,
I sent supplies and money out there because I couldn't. You know,
a lot of people were like, you know, I should have been there. I couldn't do it. And I said, you know what? I sat there. I said, we still need people at home. I sat there. I said, that is our main area that needs to be protected. I said, that's what they did a long time ago. I said, they sent all the warriors out. I said, and then the tribe, they were vulnerable. I sat there and said, there's some of us that are fortunate and able to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it wasn't for Chiron's Uncle Tay, we wouldn't have been able to go at all.
Yeah.
You know, he's the one that helped us get up there. And but my son, Richard, he felt bad. My oldest son, he was like, well, I want to go too, Mom. I want to be beside you. And I said, baby, I said, I need you here. I said, we need our bills paid. You know, and he felt bad because he just started his job too, you know, and he couldn't leave and that. And I just sat there. I said, every warrior has their place. And everything. I said, and you are taking care of the home front here. I sat there. I said, this is, you'll have your time in life to, you know, do what you got to do. I said, but right now, I said, I commend you. I said, I have a lot of respect for you. And there's a lot of them that were old and elderly or sick or just straight poor. You know, so I did. I took, we had like a duffel bag of items that we ended up taking up there with us. You know, someone asked me to take their hair up there, tobacco ties, all this and that, and then we did. We took it all up there and we went and did a ceremony with it, and we burnt all of it. So they were there. You know, we would have never been able to go if Chiron's uncle didn't help us get up there.
Yeah, I mean, some people, it just worked in it, you know, time worked in their favor. But yeah, so then the second one that I put on, I was like, that was a dog attack. And I was so mad. I was shaking. I was like crying. I was just like emotional, like, I can't believe this is happening kind of thing. And so I was like, there's a guy who had contacted me. His name's Matthew West, and he lives in Sioux Falls, not from the area, but he does the company that he's with is Dakota Rural Action, and they followed like the first pipeline and stuff. So he's been doing work for a long time, being against the pipelines and stuff. Well, he had messaged me when he heard about the first one, and I was like, no, because he's like, I could get press, I could do this, and I was just like, no, I just don't want that right now. I want it to be about prayer and stuff. So then when the dog attacks happened, I like hit him up. I was so mad. Like had this long old message to him, and he's like, all right. He's like, when, you know, where? And that one was the one we went through downtown Sioux Falls. We were right on Minnesota.
I'm so glad the KXL one didn't get that bad. You know, like they didn't try to come into Sichonga land. You know.
Yeah. So yeah, so I guess that was my kind of motivation. A whole bunch of people came to that one. I can't remember the head count, but there was people that came from little small towns, like non-natives too, and it was. That's
why I said it's not an Indian thing. That's everybody keeps saying, oh, it's just a skin thing. All you skins are, you know, are sobering up.
Or looking for attention or whatever.
So many groups, I can remember, like there was this, I'm bad at names too. A little group of older ladies, and they just like came and shook the hands of people who helped me kind of get that one organized. And I think they were like sisters. They were like nuns or something.
What about that little old lady that they keep arresting? Where's she from? Kansas or Missouri or something? She's 86 years old. They went and asked her how many times she's been arrested. She said, not enough. She's even like in a wheelchair. She's a white woman, you know. Yeah. You know, I love that woman. I want to shake her hand, you know. Yeah. She's like, no, it's not coming through my land.
And then the second one that we put on, there was a farmer who came and spoke about how it's affected him, his farming and all of that. And so that was cool to hear that kind of side of it.
Well, look at Freeman. They built it over there.
I know. It's built already.
Yeah, nobody's even tried stopping it. You know, it's coming down this way. No one... They're just like, oh, it's okay, you know.
Yeah, and nobody would have even known it was leaking, except for the landowner came out and it was like all mushy out there.
They try to cover that shit up immediately whenever, you know, in the press before that gets out.
Yeah. Oh, and then I had my aunt passed away in December.
Sorry about that.
January, yeah. But so we had to go back, and it was just me, my dad, my daughter, and some relatives we picked up on North Dakota on the way. And so we had to drive by all the oil rigs and stuff. Yeah. And there's like, I forget the town where all like the workers go and eat and stuff. And we drove right by, and we were like in there, and I felt so weird. I was like, these are all the workers that work on the oil rigs and stuff, you know. I'm from Montana, Fort Peck, so it's like you gotta drive through all of that stuff to get there. But it was like awkward a little bit, you know. Because that was after I had been to Standing Rock and had all the rallies and stuff. I was like, I hope they don't.
And it's crazy, like how all the oil workers now hate all Native Americans. You know?
Yeah, because it's good money.
Yeah.
Because I'm a bartender and I've had to wait on a few, and they just like immediately are just don't like me, just because I'm a Native American.
Oh yeah, and then you got when we were up in
I'm sorry, I didn't do it.
I know. When we was up there in Minnesota at that Enbridge meeting, talking with them guys up there, you could see the ones that were with the oil company because they all sat around the same table, and then there was this guy that kept standing up and talking on behalf of the camps and everything. And did you know that they separate themselves? One is oil. What is it? No, what is it? Pipe layers. And the other one is oil drillers. They separate themselves now. And instead of like being, we're all with the oil company doing this and that, they separate themselves now because of the man camps and what's been going on in the man camps.
And that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
That's
we could talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, when we was up there in North Dakota, we got told it was with Sunrise Black Bull. We were hanging out with her, and they called us over to the Ochete Shakawee side in October. And they said that they were going to go to Morton. What was it? Was it Morton? What the heck was it we went to? Morton County?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or somewhere over there. Yeah, we went over there to go pray on this road, and to go give awareness. Mandan.
Oh, Mandan. Yeah, that's where Morton County is.
Yeah, so we went to Mandan and everything. So we did a whole shitload of us. Took off over there, and everybody's like, well, leave your children in camp. Hell no, am I not leaving my children anywhere. Bullshit.
Because that's a long drive. I mean,
and I didn't know exactly where it was, so I was like, no, so I followed everybody over there. We got over there, and here people were saying, just leave your children in the car. I said, I said, if I don't know where my babies are, I said, they're not there. So they did, they walked with me. I had two 10-year-olds and a 15-year-old with me. And I told them, I said, you guys all stay together. I said, we're here for prayer. I sat there, I said, anything happens. I said, Chiron and Ryan both had phones. I said, you call your Uncle Tay and call Grandma Karen. Anything happens, we get separated. We need to meet back up. So Sunrise, she delegated with her daughter too. So we were there as a family. We started walking up that dirt road and everything. At first I parked right. I turned my ass around. I was the first one at the head of the line, right at the stop sign, because I wasn't going to get stuck. We got all the way up there, and there was the bunch of people that came out with these banners. All these white folks started locking arms. As soon as we start passing through, so I was like, well, what the heck's going on?
All different colored ones went in a circle with all the tribe names on it and the whole Four Direction colors.
Yeah, and as soon as we got up that hill, or as soon as we were getting up there, there was a helicopter just like going mad, and freaking, all of a sudden there was like pop, 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 on the ground, and I was like, what the hell? And they made us all stop. Media took off up there, and they found bullet casings because the helicopter was shooting bullets downtown, making us leave. And everything, so the media had to go up there. They took pictures and then they collected the bullets or the casings. So we ended up going up there. Anyway, I mean, we were like completely surrounded. They took like all like the children and everybody, and they put them in the middle around these sacred hoops and everything. And then there was like Native Americans in the inside, and then there was Brown Pride from San Diego. Not Brown Pride. They were the berets, brown beret people from California. Then there was a line of Black Lives Matters, and then there was another ring of these white folks from another organization and it was like cool because it was like representing like all the colors, and then we were up there talking and we were praying, and trying to bring awareness to Mandan and to let them know that we're here, we're wanting to help them and everything. While we were sitting there doing that, the military showed up, all the police in their SWAT stuff.
Is that the one where they hit the old lady or knocked her down and stuff? The one that was praying?
Yep.
Oh my god, that one pissed me off so bad. I was like,
she's praying.
That's an old lady. What the fuck?
We left before that happened and everything. They told us, all the non-arrestables, you need to follow this flag up. So it kind of took me a little while because Sunrise was having issues trying to get her daughter, because her daughter is like a little half pint, getting pissed off, and fuck you,
Mm-hmm.
She was like, you're not going to do this, and then Chiron was too busy chasing his auntie and his cousin around trying to get them together. So we got down there, but before we got down there, the military was parked out with all these white school buses. I mean, seriously, they were all SWAT geared up.
They're ready to arrest people.
Yeah. And my 10-year-old, he got past those people. He got underneath them, and he pointed at them. He said, why are you doing this? He said, we're trying to protect the water for you. Why do you want to do this? He said, I'm trying to protect it for you and all the unborn. And all the people that were there start Wichagalaing. It's a how do you explain Wichagala? It's like it's a sign of respect. Okay. I know.
Okay. I guess I don't know what Wichagala is.
It's when like grandmas and women. Yeah, it's called Wichagala. Yeah, they were doing that and everything, you know, and he just told him, he said, I'm not afraid of you. He said, I'm here to protect the water for you. You know, so I let him have his 5 seconds, and then I looked at him, 10 seconds. He got his 10 seconds. Yeah, and I grabbed a hold of him. I said, you leave me again. We got all the way down there, start getting loaded up, and that's when we heard all that screaming up there. And everything, like all this commotion, that's when that happened to that.
Yeah. It always blows my mind, like, people are not being violent. How can they be doing things like that, you know? Like, you see, like, there's people, Black Lives Matter, like, freaking wrecking whole cities, people, you know,
we're over there
burning buildings.
Yes.
And, like, you don't see stuff
like
we water
hoses
being
like that.
sprayed at them.
Like, laying down in the middle of the fucking interstate and stuff like that. Like,
you know what I mean? It's just, like, that's just mind-blowing that can happen.
we literally came in peace, and that's how we left, too. Yes, there was infiltrators. Yes, there was ones that agitated the police. But you know what, though? A lot of them police came already with that intention that I'm going to shoot someone's ass today. I'm going to mace someone's ass today.
Yeah, because in this area, there's a lot of, like, prejudiceness against Native Americans.
Man, there's not. It's not. There are racists here in Sioux Falls, and I don't give a shit. They could be mad at me. They are. I
feel like a lot of times here it's, like, undercover, though.
Yeah.
They do say things kind of, like...
Shit, just go on like any like Argus 911
or they're like, you're one of the good ones, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Oh, thanks, I guess. I don't know.
My boys experience it in elementary.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. My girls go to a really diverse school. They go to Hawthorne, so they don't really happen too often.
Oh yeah, I've dealt with some stuff over at Garfield. They know me. Shit, I know my parent handbook, my children handbook. I know the school board guidelines and procedures. Shit.
Yeah, you have to. You always have to be knowledgeable.
Yeah. I got told I was an overprotective parent, but...
You have to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you haven't seen that documentary, what's it called again?
Yeah, Awake. It is Awake, A Dream from Standing Rock. It's on Netflix now. I've seen a lot of people I recognized in this, so that was kind of cool. Yeah. Definitely check that out.
I'm sure there's more to come.
Yeah, for sure.
Footage,
check that out. Holona, thank you for being a part of the show today and sharing your stories. That I know I've talked to you, so I've heard a lot of this stuff, but for people that might not have or have just seen it on the news or on Facebook or whatever, to hear like your
beautiful
stories and things and how it was.
You could feel it. You could feel that power. You could feel your ancestors and all of them standing with you. I mean, it was an amazing feeling, to know that all this stuff that you've been missing in your life, it was awakening.
Or that picture that somebody posted with all those Winags out in the pasture at night.
And then when the buffalo came,
that was so cool.
They said that when the buffalo came in, they said it was riders that pushed them that way. But what Morton County didn't do, them fucking morons, is they didn't take that timestamp off. If you ever see that video on Facebook and everything, that 2007 timestamp or whatever year it was is still on there when they were herding the buffalo.
Oh.
Yeah, so I said, oh, good job, guys.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us today. Yeah. We certainly appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Do you have anything you want to plug, your fry bread or anything like that? Or
taco sale or what?
Planning a taco sale soon.
Right on. Well, thank you for being here, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
The Urban Indianz podcast presents Art to Art. Art to Art. Art to Art.
Here we are with our Art to Art segment. Levi is unfortunately unable to be here with us today, so I'm going to fill in and try to do it justice here. We got my good friend Kevin Kroger here, who's going to be our interview guest for the day. Kevin is a serial entrepreneur for There Are 8 is his company. He is also a UFC and MMA promoter, and an all-around great guy. We told you.
Yes.
Yeah, we told you brag you up a little bit, but they might not believe that. But
not if they know me.
Yeah. So Kevin, how did you get involved in the UFC and being an MMA promoter?
Well, most people have to like work hard and start at the bottom and scrap their way up. I was lucky. Devin Clark here from Sioux Falls he had worked for my family's business a long time ago, and he had started training my son for wrestling, giving him some wrestling lessons, and he showed up to Trey's birthday party. Trey invited him, and he showed up with some cool UFC gear for Trey, and we started talking. We were hanging out in the pool swimming, and our kids were talking, and I said, the UFC really requires you, they want you to self-promote yourself a lot, but a lot of fighters aren't self-promoters or social media promoters, and so they kind of suck at it. And I'm like, and you're kind of, lacking, dude. I'm like, let me help you out. And he's like, well, I don't really have a big budget to do that right now. I can't. I'm like, I know, I'll just do it. He's like, what? I'm like, you've been helping my kid. You won't take no money. I'll just help you out.
Yeah.
And fast forward, it went really well in a couple weeks after it. And so his management team had asked me to help out with some other fighters, and being the quiet and shy guy that I am, I quickly bridged out and made new friends that were bigger than me that could beat me up.
Yeah. So, that's awesome.
So I tell like it is. I get Devin Clark's coffee. That's my job.
Yeah. So he's like you're like the guy that's always in the movies, like the guy in the computer in the back that's like the real brains behind the operation.
Right, and he's the muscle.
Yeah, he's the one out there.
When he for giving an example, when we get to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and our car rental is messed up, I figure out what are we gonna do, and so I take him to the hotel and figure that out, and then we get back to Vegas, and they won't let him check into his hotel room because he doesn't have his right credit card. I figure out what to do.
Yeah.
So it's kind of and I help with it. I actually handle his sponsorships, his nonprofit. He does a lot of nonprofit work.
Yeah.
I kind of coordinate all that stuff.
Awesome.
Right on. So you do like all he really has to concentrate is on fighting and training and all that, and you handle like the majority of
that's the goal.
Stuff.
Yep. His management team, his manager, he handles booking his fights and such. I handle all the other stuff. Where Devin used to have to worry about all that.
Yeah.
We took that off his plate, and we found that it seemed to me where he was much more successful. His last fight in Kansas City, he absolutely dominated that, and that's what he worried about, is fighting. Yeah. Because that's what he's good at, Fight, you go beat them up, I'll do the rest.
Yeah, I would think that would be a lot, take a lot off your mind, especially if, you're going in to, fight somebody. Like, I'm not trying to fight anybody, so, like, I don't want to think about that at all. But, like, if you were in that mindset, like, to have to worry about, oh, shit, now I got to get my car rental, or, how am I going to pay for this, or, right. all the small stuff, or how's my Twitter looking, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, how's my Twitter looking? I heard a girl ask me that one time. How's my Twitter looking? I was like, he has the easy job. I mean, all he has to do is go get fight, and I do all the hard work. So no, but I mean, he's a great guy. He's a great guy to work with. He actually trains out of Jackson Wink, which is considered the #1 fight gym in the world. Yeah. He trains with John Jones. He actually just got back. He was down there specifically. Cool. Yeah. He just trained with John Jones for the fight specifically. He basically played the role of DC, one of the guys, Yeah. And like we said at the end of that, because John obviously won, he's the champion. We obviously DC'd better than DC did, as partners. Yeah. And so yeah, he was down there just for that. There's some cool pictures on his Instagram with him and John.
Where's that at? Training camp?
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So the gym he trains with, he trains with John Jones, Holly Holmes, Diego Sanchez, what's his name? Heavyweight is Akeem. I forgot his name. He's one of the top contenders for heavyweights. Yeah. Tyson Pedro. I mean, he trains with all these. I mean, no mess around guys.
Yeah. That's good exposure right there.
Oh, yeah. Just that alone, and it's really helped him. I mean, it's made him. I mean, Devin's one of the top 20 light heavyweight fighters in the world. Yeah. He'll have another fight coming up here getting announced, I'm sure, shortly. Yeah. And that should make him really catapult up there as well. Nice.
So, like, for you being around all that, do you ever think, like, you know what, I'm going to give this a shot?
It's funny you say that. Because I'm about to go down. You can just let me get my back up first. But no, so it was kind of funny because I've been working on with my other business ventures that we're having that Midwest Pro Wrestling. Yeah. They're going to do an event there. And so here I am with this picture of me, and I'm like, what do you guys think? And there's a picture of me and this guy that played Eugene. Yeah. And everybody's like, you're going to be a pro wrestler, aren't you? And my wife looked at me, she says, don't even think about it. Yeah. But I have this vision now. I'm thinking, yeah. So me and Devin came up with it. My scenario, I'm going to be a manager in that pro wrestling thing maybe. Yeah. And my name's going to be the Nat.
The Nat.
Because I'm like this dude, I just come around, I just never go away. Yeah. And that's how, like, all these sponsors, because I tell these people when I try to get them to sponsor Devin or to write a story about them,
Yeah.
I'm like, you might as well just do it right now. They're like, well, why is that? I'm like, because I am not going to stop bothering you until you either do it or you take out a protection order. You know? Yeah. It's true. Like, I have this lady, he's a rep for this great shoe company called York Shoes. They're a fight shoe.
Yeah.
Very cool shoe. And he did not fit into any of their guidelines of like how many followers he had to have, his social media presence, any of that. And she still gave him the endorsement after a while. I go, why did you give it to him? In this email she talks about it, she goes, because I knew you would never stop bothering me. Yeah. and they're really happy they have him now. And
so you're good at your job.
Yeah. That's what I got to do. So I just keep going, you know.
Persistence. There's a lot to be said for persistence.
Yeah, I mean,
persistence pays.
Yeah, when I first started, I was just like, I don't know anybody in the UFC yet, so I'm like, all right, how am I gonna do this? I get my LinkedIn. I'm like, okay, UFC Reebok Vice President. I'll call him. And nobody answered.
Some people appreciate that though, going straight.
So the guy, So unfortunately, by the time I got a hold of him, he had left his position there, but he had started the whole division and he had a lot of experience. So Michael's actually one of my mentors now. We talk about once or twice a week, and you know, that's who I just go for. I'm like, hey, this is Kevin. I'm calling back Mike. He left me a message. Yeah. maybe not, but you know, it gets me through the door. And I made some pretty good connections with that. You know, I'm doing some sponsorship stuff. Work with the LFA, which is the Legacy Fighting Alliance. They're the step below the UFC. Yeah. But they're the televised one on Friday nights. Well, they're here in Sioux Falls, so I'm selling their sponsorships for the TV Pro part of it, and their suites and their front row seats, all those.
When do they fight?
Like the 18th or 19th of August. Here's what's really cool about that. So the main card on that is David McCod, the main feature, and he's from Pine Ridge.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he was in the UFC before, made it once, and
what's his name again?
David McCod, Bulldog.
I think I heard about that dude before. Maybe we should probably get that dude on.
You know what? I can get him on for you guys.
Yeah, the next one.
Yeah, I'll get him on.
Because it'll be that weekend.
That'd be perfect timing. Because he'll be a guest on Sunday, and he'd be fight the next Friday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he fights at the Pentagon. He fought in April here at the Pentagon and won.
Yeah.
He's a good dude. He's tough. He fights at 170 pounds.
Seems like the support from Sioux Falls is pretty good on those fights.
We have a really good MMA community.
So it's on a Friday night or a Saturday?
It's a Friday night fight.
So it's
on TV.
18th?
Yeah, 18th.
Okay.
And so...
and it's at the
Pentagon.
Okay.
Yeah. It'll be a really good fight.
He's fighting
a good opponent. I'm selling front row seats if anybody wants to buy some.
What do those go for?
Retail is about $200 a piece, but homie hookups less. So
okay.
Or if you all want a suite, you know, check me out. You only want a table.
Yeah.
You need a suite.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Last time I've been in the suite, I get
$200. The suites are pretty decent at the Pentagon.
You'll be done by then?
Hey.
Better not yet.
Sorry.
We gotta get a trip for our podcast so that we can go.
Yeah, that sweet podcast money.
Yeah.
I'm sure you budgeted allocated for that, right?
Yeah. For sure.
Totally.
So like what like what's your motivation? Like what's the end game? Like what do you hope to accomplish with all?
So like when I first started this deal, the end game was really Devin had expressed some interest in he has a huge heart. Like this is the part where I get teary eyed and my wife calls him my boyfriend because she always says go look in your phone. I bet you have more pictures of him than me. Or I bet you have more pictures of him shirtless than me in there. And it's true. But, you know, so what got me is he wanted to help people right away. And he didn't have that base or that means yet, but that was his first concern. And my son Cameron has Down syndrome. Mm-hmm. And they really hit it off well. And so what happened is we ended up starting some Down syndrome awareness things, and it really just took off. Mm-hmm. And if you look up Devin Clark, you'll see almost every one of his interviews, something about Down syndrome awareness and about Camden. And it's funny when you watch Devin talk about it because he goes from all tough to, and all quiet and soft. There's an awesome newspaper article too about it. But we ended up meeting we started working on these adaptive athletic programs. So for kids that want to do things, they don't have to have Down syndrome, but whatever, different things, that we make sure they're able to. And through that coming, I met a young man named Garrett. He's the same age as Devin. He's 27 years old. He has Down syndrome. And he had to fight for his right to, not party, but to fight in Florida. And so he had those things, and we got hooked up with him, became friends with him. And me and Devin actually did a road trip. We 10-hour drove to St. Louis to watch Garrett fight for the Adaptive Championship. And it was so badass.
Awesome.
Garrett whooped the shit out of this dude. There's a video of it in the first round. Garrett, just his killer. I would not step in the ring with him.
So then, do they have like their own little league?
So there's not really yet. There's not enough, but there's a few fighters yet.
Yeah,
we're finding more as we brought out.
That's
awesome.
And
we brought Crush to this and news to this.
It.
That more guys are stepping up and wanting that. I mean, Garrett's a dude that he works harder than most MMA fighters that I know. He's not one of those, like, he hates, and there's nothing wrong with this, but he hates when he sees, and sometimes I do, where, hey, we let this guy win because he had Down syndrome. I mean, it's good too, depending on your level, because Garrett works legit at the gym 3 hours a day, hard as hell. He's chiseled. He does his thing. You know, so it takes away from him.
Yeah.
So he's the first ever adaptive athletics champ. He fucked that dude up. But I don't know if I can say that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I swear a lot.
We're adults.
Fuck, cool. But I mean, he did. He like front choked him. Karen Bryant from Fox TV started following us because of that now. And he's paving the way for kids like my son that's 4 to not have people try to tell me he can't do shit. Because, you know, we get a lot of... I get backlash from parents all the time that know I help them now. That have kids with Down syndrome. Some of them are like, no, you can't let kids with Down syndrome do that. I'm like,
why not?
You don't have to let your kid, but if my kid wants to do anything, if it's not going to hurt him, like he can't, like he's going to die, we're doing it. I'm not going to tell him. Like all my kids, and Gabe, you know, that's like, if my kids want to do something, like I get full force behind them. Like, oh, you want to be a debater? Now my kid's on a full debate scholarship, you know? We get behind it. You want to, my 17-year-old, you want to fight? Then we're going to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, they have the right, just like anyone else.
Yeah, and that's what I tell Devin, you know. At some point in Devin's life, you know, go 35 years back. Ain't no way they're going to let some black man get in the ring with a white dude and fight him. You know, what happened? Same with Gary. If he wants to fight, he should get to fight.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the end game to begin with. This awareness. And Jackson Wink, they actually rolled out an adaptive athletic program down there that we got to help, you know, be a part of, which is cool.
Yeah.
They got a guy named Sherman. They call him the Shermanator. He's got Down syndrome. He's a badass.
That's awesome.
Diego Sanchez works with him.
Nice.
And they made him a part of his, like, legit part of his fight team. They went to the barber, got him shaved up, put his picture on the wall.
Oh,
awesome.
Nice.
So that was my part of it. And out of that, Devin became an ambassador for what they call Fighting for Autism.
Yeah.
And they approached me and had me be an ambassador. And actually, they just approached me here a week ago or so to be the executive director of a state chapter for Fighting for Autism. Which I said, sure, I don't know how to do it, but I'll figure it out. And, but they bring all these cool programs. Yeah, they bring all these cool programs into states for like free, like kickboxing for autism kids and all these things. So that's my end game at first, was to bring awareness. But then I was realizing I was having so much fun, and I love working with MMA fighters. It's fun. I have a knack for promo stuff, getting in the door, and the other stuff I can learn, or I can find somebody else that is a good coach manager. But I've been making enough friends that have been willing to take me on as their little proteges, and some that are successful. I mean, I work with a guy here in town on the LFA stuff that he's Robbie Lawler's agent. He's Luke Rockhold's agent. Who else does he have? He's got a ton. He's Chad Greenway's agent, Mike Miller's agent, all these guys. So, I mean, and he's willing to let me do his dirty work, you know, and that's how it starts, you know. And I'm not afraid to grind it out, and anything I've ever done, I like to do my work and put it in. Yeah, I love to earn it, and I like to be that guy. Trey said, as my son said today, was coming to this podcast, well, Dad, you are at least Sioux Falls famous. I already knew that. I'm like, wow, I'm Sioux Falls famous.
Got that off the list.
Check it. What's next?
Yeah. That's awesome.
So, I mean, that's kind of the end game. I don't know. We'll see where it grows.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
I like it.
Your daughter's like really talented too. Like she plays in a band, and I've seen her perform and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
she's a great little singer, and you know, maybe I'll be her rock promoter. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get her. You know, funny through this UFC thing, like I made a connection with like Recognize from Strange Music. You know, started following me and talking to me, and like, you know who I am, right? And I get weird follows. Like, and they see relation, like some big bodybuilder that had like 150,000 followers. Started following me. I'm like, what's up? But you know, I think they do it because of Devin, you know, and some of my connections with these other big guys that I talk to. Yeah. And because I'll get people, hey, can you help me connect to this person? I'm like, sorry, dude, I can't. Yeah. So I get used up all the time for that, you know. And if it's worth it, sometimes you know. You like being used? Yeah, I love being used. Just throw me down.
As long as it's worth it.
As long as it's worth it, just a little bit of lube once in a while. Yeah. But yeah, no. So it's fun. You know, my daughter, her voice is not too bad. She's a 12-year-old as well.
Yeah, she fucking kills it. Like, she's like a year older than Lyric and like full on like rock star. Like,
that's crazy. You have to put her on one of your songs or something.
She's not afraid either. Like, she sang a national anthem at the racetrack a couple different times. She'll just get out there and do it. All the other kids are all timid, like down at the bottom. She just walks up to the top of the podium, gets after it. Yeah, she owns it. She did it at the downtown block party. Her band performed there. They performed at Jam for Hunger last year.
So
what's your band
called?
It was a full band. It's through the Rock and Roll Academy. What was it called? I don't even know what it's called this year. Let's see. They had full-on pictures they took, like professional pictures, because they were with that Brennan Rock and Roll Academy.
Okay.
And that douchebag left, took his ball and went home.
Yeah.
Especially after I heard we went on the news even, I'm like, I get it. And I mean, kind of get it. Like, you don't do nonprofit work if you don't have a business there, kind of. If you're just doing it for the tax write-off. I mean, if you're a good fucking person, you do. But
yeah.
Her instructor though still keeps up with her. His name's Ron Keel. He's in the Keel band. He was a 80s rock star. Like, I mean, for real, legit. Opened for Metallica. Opened for all these places. But he helped her out a lot, and so they're still friends, and he helps her out.
Cool.
So it sucks that there's no
place
like that. I mean, she actually mean chorus, but that ain't the same shit.
No. Because my daughter, she's in a program called Harmony.
Yep.
And they meet like every day after school. They work hard.
Is she at like middle school or something, or what is?
Elementary.
Okay.
They follow them up though.
Okay, because like my daughter does that at Edison, like Inventions.
Yeah, and so like programs like that, you look at a violinist and this program compared to the school, and there's like no comparison, because they have this outside time that they're dedicated to, so that work
it's
shows.
Huge. Like she loved going and preparing. I mean, she sang in another band that did a bunch of Christmas songs. She covered Mariah Carey's that whatever All I Want for Christmas, and she busted it out so good.
Ooh.
And I me being the dad I am, I got videos of everything, of course. So.
Yeah.
She gets so embarrassed, but yeah, they don't have that. Chorus you get to go sing and. I mean, at least they encourage her a little bit in some of these inventions groups, but it's not the same. Like busting it. I mean, getting out in a full-on rock band on stage, not even close.
Yeah, it's that feeling alone is it's great. I love that.
One of a kind.
Yeah. So this is probably since Levi is the man that does this, I'm sort of just filling in for him. I don't really know what else to ask.
He had some questions.
Yeah. I know you run like the orchard here in town and do a lot of that kind of stuff. And I mean, you just do 1,000,001 different things. Like, do you want to talk about anything else?
So yeah, I mean, if you got kids and you got money, come to Country Apple Orchard. I've been trying to get to Orchard. Actually, I've been working on certifications so we can take EBT too. So you can buy your apples at EBT. Why not? Right?
Yeah.
I think you should be able to. You can buy that. You can buy Schwann's and Papa Murphy's Pizza.
Yeah.
I wish I could get EBT.
Me too.
Man.
Hey, speaking of that, you guys want my email? It's KrogerFamily1011@gmail.com. If you got an email EBT to sell, send me an email. Just kidding.
We kid.
But anyway, just in case,
I'm not kidding.
KrogerFamily101@gmail.com. I got 8 kids, so I mean, I need to get that shit at a discount. I sell fireworks. The Orchard's a great place, so it's a fun place. I'm the general manager out there. We do. We're starting to do a lot more live music. So if you're like a live music act and you're cheap and you want some exposure, I'm trying to fill some slots out there.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you're cheap, don't call me asking for a bunch of money. I got a budget I got to keep,
Yeah.
And then I do fireworks, and I always try to help anybody I can help out, I got a heart for my softie, but at least I learned like when I go to Munchies, I come and go, oh, you'll love this. So I was at Munchies the other day, and there's 2 old ladies in their 60s. They're like putting $1.50 together to get a camel together. And I rolled up, and I put out $6, and I said, ladies, drinks are on me today. Made their day, because I like people that want to give to just like because you're giving because I'm about to give, and you got to do it my way and find God.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a God fearing man, and but to me, God never said to tell him how people have to spend the money. So I'm like, hey, dude, don't lie to me. Like, I'm gonna come and go by my house. We live in the hood over by the cathedral, and
my neck of the woods.
Yeah, yep. I'm like the one block where we don't get robbed. Except I did get robbed like for $8,000 last year, but otherwise.
Besides that, we don't get robbed.
It's
an interesting neighborhood because I mean, like you go one block over, and it's
so
like
all
crazy.
those nice houses.
Yeah.
Yeah,
another block over, and that's fine.
Yeah,
and
my block
really
is all like homeowners. So it's a little different, and then like a block over either way. Yeah. The cops are there all the time. They just start building this convent right over in front of me. Actually, these nuns are blocking my view of the cathedral now. There's all these new nuns that are walking by every day. But I come and go. They always no, they're not. They're always, I think they like imported them from Latin America or something.
Yeah. Oh well, shit.
Or are they Spanish nuns?
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah.
They've been there for years.
Yeah.
I used to live like across from the priest house.
Okay.
And that kind of where that dead end. Yeah, so they used to be outside sweeping. They've been there forever.
Yeah, they're crazy. But so like I come and go downtown. Dude always like, hey dude, can I get somebody to eat? I'm like, man, why you gotta lie to me? Tell me the truth. What you mean? Do you want a beer? Well, yeah, I want a beer. Then hey, will you buy me a beer? Hell yeah, I'll go buy you 2 for being honest. You know, I mean, I didn't try to do my part. Like, and I heard though today, like over by the dollar store, like right as I was just taking my wife home and looked over, the cops like rolled up quick to the bus stop. I was like, what? And I seen some dude legs laying there. I thought, oh, it must be passed out. And then I looked as we drove by. I felt so bad. His walker was in there. And so I don't know. He might have just been drunk and passed out, or he might have fell, or both. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, so, you never know. It's like, do you call the cops or the
right? Yeah, I was riding on the bike path the other night, and there was I don't know if there's one guy in a wheelchair, a native guy downtown still. Not the old guy.
And he's like fucking out of his wheelchair?
Yeah, and he was just laying in the grass. On the ground? And there's like this other group of natives, like maybe 10 of them, sitting like maybe a good 1,000 feet from him. And I was like, is this guy dead? Is he alive?
Right? I see that guy
check on him
all
when
the
I come
time.
back by.
Yeah.
So I did. He was still laying there, and I meant to call the cops, and I forgot. And like I remember, like at midnight, I was like, "Oh my god, maybe he is dead."
I thought I was walking my neighborhood one day too, and I saw this dude laying in the grass. I'm like, "Dude, this guy's like, this can be like Stand By Me. I'm gonna find this dead body." And
yeah, one time we lived by like 15th and Waltz, kind of by Sanford, and there was a guy just laying in our yard. And so we called the ambulance, and my mom came over. I was like, "The cops."
Yeah, I was like, "Dude, are you okay?" He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. You know, I'm gonna call the cops because I've seriously had moments like those when I walked home back in the days when I used to drink.
Yeah.
There was this little lot like between my house and Mr. D's, and I was like about 8 blocks away from there. And I remember this one time I decided, fuck it, I'm not gonna go any further. I was walking home and it was winter, cold, and I woke up in that lot like 2 hours later, all cold snow. But I'm glad people didn't call the cops on me either. You know, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found somebody passed out in my yard before when I lived downtown on like 1st and 15th.
Yeah.
I went out and there's like a guy just passed out like right on the side of the house between the bushes in the house. Mm-hmm. It's scary, you know, because it's dark. I had a hammer. I was like, get the fuck out.
I'm like, I'm okay. I'm just resting.
He's like, oh, God bless you. God bless you. It's like
this broad I used to hang out with, fucking
AKA date.
she was fucking all blacked out and tried to like walk home from the district one time, and it was like 20. It was one of those days. It was like 20 below. She passed out in somebody's fucking front yard, and lucky they like seen her, like, cause she should be dead right now, but she was just passed out.
All your fault.
Right? It wasn't my fault.
Let her go. He was like, "You gotta go home now. See you. Gotta go."
No, I was like, "Bitch, walk here." I ain't picking you up. You gotta walk here.
I know, that's reminds me of my favorite joke about the best thing about dating a homeless woman, right? You can drop her off anywhere when you're done. You know? It's so wrong, but it's true.
Well, I feel like we've diverged from our original topic.
Yeah, so my mission is to just, I don't know. I'm 40 years old, and my mission is to like figure out what I'll be when I want to grow up.
Yeah.
You know, I had a corporate career before, and I fucked all that up. I don't know. I like being me. It took me like this sober trip thing I do, and like just finding me, like being this dumb shit with these crazy glasses, and that's not real manly, and I don't even care. I just embrace me.
I like them.
You know, my wife hates him. The first day Gabe met her on Facebook, she was like, Gabe's like, your wife's already out and you're not wearing the good glasses. Yeah. And after he said that, I'm like, I'm wearing them. Fuck that.
Every time I see this guy, he's got a different pair of glasses on a different color.
Like
and then he's doing a live video of his wife getting out, and I'm like, dude, so you're not going to wear the glasses today? And but
yeah, when my wife got out of prison, I did a live stream. I'm like, what up? I'm here at the prison to pick my wife up, and I'm late by 2 hours, and she's mad.
2 hours.
And she's like,
it's like she's already had to wait how many years?
I'm like 2.5 years. Just patience, baby. Be appreciative. Be grateful. So, yeah, that's a whole other story.
Right on. Well, thanks for being our guest today. Do you have any places, social media or anything like that?
Yeah, you can find me at what am I at? I don't even know. Oh, there are 8 on Twitter. That's a good one to get me if you want some stupid shit. There, I think Kman1011 is Instagram. I can't keep up.
Yeah, it is
Instagram. If you want some UFC stuff, some local UFC stuff, you can buy Brown Bear. UFC, Instagram, anything Brown Bear, you'll find them. Just type Brown bear. You'll either find Devin or Brown Bear. So, you know, it's all good. Yeah, check us out that way.
Right on. Well, thank you very much.